The AOPA Prescott, Arizona Fly-In is just 2 weeks away. We're scheduled for a full range of interesting stuff, from the Friday night hangar party to a full day of seminars, exhibits, pilot town hall meeting with Mark Baker, other good things on Saturday, October 1st. And while Prescott just by itself is a neat place to fly to, we thought we'd take a look at a few other things in the area that you might want to consider visiting on your way to or from the fly-in. Morningstar is out in Prescott, so Warren, what can we add to the flight plan?
Well, hey, Tom, as you know, I learned to fly out in the West, and to be honest, I can't think of any more beautiful landscape to fly over than the Colorado Plateau. The plateau is located just a bit north here of Prescott. You know, so many great places to see, so many great places to fly to. It's really hard to narrow it down to just a few.
I've linked up with Greg Brown and his 182, the Flying Carpet. He's based north of Prescott in Flagstaff. Now, many of you know Greg for his column in Flight Training Magazine. He's agreed to show me some of his favorite destinations, and the first one happens to be a favorite stop for breakfast or lunch.
And there ahead we can see the Sedona Airport and its famous aircraft carrier configuration on top of this mesa overlooking the town.
Sedona presents some challenges.
Turns out that the Sedona Airport slopes uphill to the northeast, fairly significantly. So unless the winds are pretty strong, we always land uphill on runway 3 and depart downhill on runway 21, which also is a traffic factor we have to be careful about, right?
But well worth the flight.
So you're going to see that despite the aircraft carrier look, it's quite a manageable airport. Lots and lots of runway, and as long as you do a decent job, you're going to have no problem coming in here, providing it's not extremely windy.
And Sedona is only 33 nautical miles northeast of Prescott. Now fly a little farther, just 61 miles to 40 Gulf, Grand Canyon Valley Airport. This privately owned public use airport used to be John Seibold's hideaway, and some of his collection is displayed in the terminal. Seibold used to own Scenic Airlines. Right next door, a branch of the Planes of Fame Museum, more than 40 aircraft, many of them still airworthy. The museum is open every day, but the airport is currently closed on Saturday for runway work. And finally, the Grand Canyon. Two options if you want to explore on ground. Grand Canyon Airport is about 8 miles from the rim. Now during the summer there's a free shuttle, but right now you would need to take a taxi, about $22 each way plus the park admission fee.
Now, another way you can get to the Grand Canyon would be to land at Williams, then come over here and catch the Grand Canyon Railroad. The train runs all the way to the edge of the canyon.
They've extended the hiking rim along the hiking trail along the rim significantly over the past 7-8 years. So if you've been there before and were disappointed that there wasn't much to do along the rim itself, that has changed. You can hike a nice long distance.
But you really must see the canyon from the air. Now, general aviation is limited to corridors crossing the canyon, but
we're at about 10,700 feet. Yes, we're above the rim, but is this a disappointing view?
The chart looks daunting, but it's really not that difficult if you plan ahead.
Sure, the traffic has turned west. He's now at 3 o'clock, 2 miles westbound. Altitude indicates 9,500, type unknown.
You can even get flight following from LA Center. Now, we'll have more on how to fly the Grand Canyon in a subsequent broadcast.
Mentioned earlier, to do this by air and then land and go to the rim and see it on the ground, it's fabulous.
Tom, Greg has a list of Southwest destinations on his website. They're all worth checking out, and there's so many more as well.
Thanks, Warren. Beautiful place to fly. I've made a couple of crossings of the Grand Canyon myself. It's really worth the trip. Greg Brown, as you know, and as you said, Warren, is a contributor to Flight Training Magazine, the author of the Savvy Flight Instructor as well, which has just come out in a new edition. Some of our own AOPA pilots and CFIs contributed to the book. Greg will be at the Prescott Fly-In. You can find him at the ASA booth in the exhibit hall.